Thanks for being here, listening to us. I'm the Managing Director of Wireless Car. David was in the panel around digital branding before, and we're having a booth just outside when you walk out to the left there. So any questions, discussions, whatever, we have a team there who will be able to answer to anything and everything. Wireless Car is a connected car service provider, global company delivering services in basically any country of relevance for connected cars today. We've done that for 17 years. We're still a teenager, 17-year, young or old, probably more to the old when we talk about connected cars, but we've been around for a long time. Selling to car makers, OEMs, a true B2B model. And I'm taking the opportunity today to really take this from a global, holistic perspective, try to drill it down to what the automotive industry is asking for now and the next 10 years. And then slightly a few advice what we should do collectively, because there is no single company that can solve the demand today. So we need to do it together. And I know there is a lot of ecosystem players in this event. So, going back, beyond connectivity and above the cloud, I will let the title explain itself through this presentation. And I know that there are a couple of problems I will address today, but I'll start with this one about the sound in this room is terrible. So if you can't hear me in the back, wave, and I will try to speak up and articulate a little bit better. But the people outside are really coming into the room, so it's a bit of a problem. We try to overcome that. So beyond connectivity, let's start there. The world becomes digitalized. No question about that. I want to start from this perspective because we're talking about, and there is no order of importance. Here are just 10 important trends, and provided by a company in Sweden named HiQ, digital company working with helping other companies to move into the digitalization or the digital world. But I chose this order of describing the trends and quickly go through them because it lays a foundation for what we are doing and we'll talk about during these 2 days. Number one, excellence in delivery. And it's not about FedEx delivering a package in my car. I can have that done today with my car, but very limited with a few suppliers. So it's not about that. It's about the digital experience. So the other day, WhatsApp was down for a couple of hours. Headlines, correct? Any digital provider who goes down for a couple of hours is a catastrophe from today and forward. A couple of years ago, we had connected car services that we were showing to our friends and families while dining at Saturday, showing how I could start my remote heater, a nice-to-have feature. Today, it's business critical. If we fail delivery of starting heaters in Volvo cars in Sweden in December, I am in big shit. Okay, it's the CEO who is calling. And we need to get used to it, and we need to deliver on those expectations as well. So excellence in delivery. Whatever we do, we need to provide a 99.99 experience, minimum. Cashless world. Well, staying at the recommended hotel here in Munich by the organization. Had a taxi this morning. I'm Swedish. I haven't had a bill or a coin in my pockets for the last 5 years. I think that's a fairly common experience when I talk to colleagues. In Germany, you cannot ride a taxi without cash. Well, there are a few taxis providing it, but this particular taxi was no cash. And I said, no payment. So you can solve that by being a little bit pushy or creative. But that's really important, and that's going to play a vital role for us providing connected services in the automotive industry. Automotive of tomorrow, I'm coming back to that one because that will actually lead into the next session. And the smart society for everyone, we're already there. WhatsApp was the simplest example from my perspective. We're there. We're consuming these digital services every day, every hour, 24/7. That's the way it is. Shopping experience, well, we are changing our shopping habits. Even I am changing that. I'm the guy that really wants to walk into the store and touch and feel and, you know, make my selection in there. But I see the benefits, and with the technology, it becomes even more easier. Closing the distance is the next step of that, because closing the distance is like Tesla in this case, closing the distance to the consumer itself. Why do we need a dealer? Well, it's a good question. So far we do it, but maybe not in tomorrow. Sustainable transportation, we go back to all the discussions about using diesel, etc., in mega cities, and even in Gothenburg in Sweden, they're talking about prohibiting diesel cars. So we really want to address that. Electrical cars, that's a good example. Then the physical, is the new digital. Robots, autonomous cars, of course. Then a really important one, play nice with others. This is about partnering. No one can do this by themselves, so we need to do it together. And we need to find models to do that. When they talked about the digital branding, it's about partnering. It's the core of partnering. And of course, for a better life. We all want to have a better life and a longer life. That's the safety, security aspects of what we do as a connected car. Now, if we translate this into the automotive demand, of course we have the society, and we're dealing with that every day. How can we make this even more transparent when we go into mega cities? We're talking about the subscription models and electrical cars, and look in China where they start collecting all the information from hybrid and electrical cars, transforming that into benefits for the consumers. You get a plate, which takes you a year to get in Shanghai or Beijing, and you actually get it for free, which is fantastic. Smart, personalized, value-adding services. I don't want an app anymore. That was my feedback to Telematics Update. I'm sorry, I don't want another app. I don't want apps at all. I want services. So why do I need to go into my mobile phone and start a heater or set a timer for a heater? It's like 15 clicks before I'm done. The ecosystem has all the information. So give me a notification, Martin, you're going to use your car in 30 minutes from now. And it's bloody -6 in Sweden in the morning. So heat the car up, or let me say yes or no, at least. That's a very simple example of a smart, personalized, value-adding service, and there are tons of examples where we can do the same. This is about using analytics. This is about using data, driving decisions, and make actions from data. And we are very good in collecting information today. We are very poor in using the decision model and transform that into actions. And we need to spend time there, because that is value-adding services. Everyone is talking about autonomous cars. And of course, no one can say when it comes, when it's level 5 here. It would be stupid to bring out a year. So many complex problems behind this. It's not about technology. It's about a horde of other questions and problems to fix. And it doesn't matter because everything we do in the car that brings it one step further is good. Smarter and safer, we need that. But here's the key. I think this is where it really leads into interesting discussions, the realization of the software-defined car. And it really doesn't matter what type of car it is, but we see more and more software, we see more and more functionality in the electrical systems that will provide us with the opportunity to build smarter value-added services. Coming back to that. Then maximize potential from electrical vehicles. Well, what we have today is not going to define what this looks like tomorrow. Everyone is using Tesla as the benchmark in the industry. Perfect to do that. But there are so many other aspects of electrification. It's scaling up, it's providing the chargeable infrastructure, and it's really making us comfortable to use the electrical cars in the right way. Subscription, as David talked about in the panel before, where you can mix and match, perfect. The only problem is that all of us wants the big SUV in the weekend. So do we need all those SUVs to provide our needs in the weekends? There are that type of problem, but it doesn't matter. Electrification and electrical vehicles are on the way. No question about that. Flexible ownership models, easy car sharing, coming back to subscription or car sharing, and we talked about that today in different discussions. I think the aspects here from our perspective is really to provide a many-to-many perspective from a platform definition. And then you can build whatever type of service on top of that. That's the important thing. So let's go back to the real problem. I'm using some information from SPD, from a report they released earlier this year. This is quite nice. If you remember Heiko's presentation, the Volkswagen presentation this morning, they had a prediction of number of cars as well. And he also used 2025. This is not my data. It's not my prediction. I'm never going to make a prediction about how many connected cars we will have. I've never done it. I've been nagging the industry every time I'm on this stage. This is the core problem, because if we don't have the critical mass of connected cars, we will never realize all the things I've talked about. It will not happen. And it needs to happen. Otherwise, we will not get there. An electrical car which is not connected will not last. So 2016, last year, we have figures. I'm using the big geographical areas here. 4 million in Europe, 7 million US, 2 million in China, connected car. OEM-enabled connected cars coming out to the street with a business model connected to it. The business model could be 6 months free, could be 3 years free, it could be lifetime for some services. There are different business models with every OEM. Now, is that good? 11, 12, 13 million cars, 2016. There were almost 100 million cars being sold that year. We have 1.3 billion cars or vehicles running around on this planet. And my prediction, this is not future, this is my prediction, roughly 40 million are connected, active connected cars. And that's a big difference between connected cars and active. That means someone is actually using them. I can only speak for our own fleets and the OEMs that we provide for, but we have a huge problem here. If we look on the biggest fleet, which is, of course, GM with their own provided solutions to it, they have roughly 8 million active connected cars today. They have had factory fit of connectivity since, wow, I don't know, but it's like 10 years. If we just calculate the, what it should be, it would have been a lot more cars. So what's the problem? It's the business model, and it's the quality of the services, because people don't repurchase. So the churn in the industry is enormous. So stop charging for it. Just put it in. Otherwise, the OEMs will never get to the digital branding. So that's the reasoning behind that. Now, anyone who remember Volkswagen's prediction 2025? How many million connected cars? I mean, well, it was on up here 2 hours ago. More than 600 million connected cars was the prediction. Won't happen. Okay, that prediction I can give you. It won't happen. SBD have this prediction. Will this happen? Well, if this happens, we are in big shit. I mean, then I should resign, turn the company into something else, because we cannot survive with this connectivity. But I don't believe 600 million is correct either, because this is all about the OEM's capability. I will hand over the future to the OEMs in terms of number of connected cars. It's up to them to define how many connected cars we have active 2025. And they need to start work on that number seriously, because they are not doing that seriously. And that's because they don't really understand the value of it yet. But they want everything that is dependent on connectivity. They want autonomous driving, they want electrical cars, they want sharing, they want personalized, smart, added services. And you can't get it without connectivity. And if you have 10% of your fleet connected, will that make you invest to get there? I mean, the investment in connectivity is like that. It's a drip in the ocean compared to changing business models, go through the whole transformation into digital business models and provide that type of services. It's re-engineering all legacy systems. It's changing organization. It's switching 30% of the competence in the company. You name it. It's huge investments. And some of the OEMs have absolutely started to walk in the right direction here. But 600 millions, I gladly eat that straw hat if I'm wrong. Now, how will this happen? What's the realization model for this to happen? It's, of course, the software-defined cars. And now I borrowed a few. Do you want me to speed up? You've seen me on the stage before. I take the rest of the afternoon. No, I'm just kidding. Realized by the software-defined car. What do we have? An IC. I borrowed some pictures from Audi here. The IC, 3,000 components. You're adding capability of electrification, hybrid, plug-in, hybrid, mild hybrid, number of components, like hundreds of new components. And then you go to the electrical vehicle, and you take away 70% of all the components. Imagine what you save. And you don't make the car less functional, because you provide software instead of hardware components. And you make this little beauty possible to start to update and provide add-on functionality on demand, etc., etc. So that's the thing that will speed up. And why do we do this? It's to gain the speed and possibility of innovation. It's to get to that branding opportunity that the panel talked about. We want the personalization. I want to step into a rental car and have that, all the parameters be set for me, for Martin. I want the mobility. I want HERE's capabilities, or whoever provide that experience. I want to be loyal. I will be loyal to the OEM that provide this to me. Trust me. I'm even loyal to the ones that provide the little we have today. And I want to get into this sharing opportunity. My car is used 2.45% of the total opportunity, utilization, 2.45%. I don't dare to calculate the minute cost of my car. It's crazy. So above the cloud, it's now 0 seconds left. I will just spend 30 seconds on this. So when we talk to a lot of people, the first question we get, are you on-prem or in the cloud? I say, well, next question. Is that relevant? No, it's not relevant. It's relevant to be in the cloud. Go to the cloud. Do it in the right way. Make your choice. Don't go for the opportunity of pleasing everyone. We've done this journey. We spent 4 years on it. It pays back enormously. This gives us delivery, excellence. This gives us speed, innovation, everything that is building up this story. So just move on. And time to market, scalability, flexibility, globality, X as a service is the future. Again, to reach the value I've talked about. So 3 key takeaways there. The software-defined car as a service, that's what we need to work on. That will give us the business value. The business value proven in the small context with the small number of connected cars we have will give us the penetration. It will go up. No question about it. But we need to work hard collectively to do this. Feel free, welcome, outside to the left, anytime, come and talk to us, understand what we're doing, what other partners we need in order to build these ecosystems, and drive carefully. Thank you very much.